Welcome back. It's your boy Kels back for another season of NOLA reviews. I know I've been gone for a while, but college is finally over. School has ended for the semester, and I'm graduating. And now I'm back for the podcast. I'm back for another episode of NOLA reviews. So I am very happy about that. I'm very happy to be back. Man, this is my passion. I've been going to school for it, still doing my thing, so I am very happy to be here. The good words of my man, Eddie Murphy. So, look, this episode is going to focus on the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange new movie. It came out in 2022, directed by Sam Raimi, Kevin Feige movie, Marvel Universe, MCU. And my thing is, what did you think as the audience? What did you think of the movie? Because I'm going to get my ratings a little later. But before that, we're just going to start off dissecting the movie. And, I got a few little segments like cinematography, I studied a film class at Tulane University this semester. And a lot was made of cinematography. So I think, which I used to, talk about that and mention that before, but I think I'm going to emphasize more on that cinematography shoulder, if you will. I'm going to just focus on that shoulder, focus on those graphics and those scenes, camera views and everything. From this movie and any other film that I decide to review. So right now, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness review is going to start with Wanda, man. And what did you guys think of Wanda? Because I seen a lot of hate going on online about Wanda, and I think it's ridiculous because, to be honest with you, Wanda Maximoff, played by Elizabeth Olsen, was a great character. She's a great villain. And I just mentioned this today to a coworker and friend who I hope to have on the show one day, Travis Shy. Wanda, and a couple of other friends that I mentioned this to also. Wanda is too powerful and too strong to be in the MCU. Like, she outranks everybody. She has more power and more strength than anybody in the MCU universe. So why waste all that for her, making her a hero? Why waste all that for a hero? You could use that strength as in a role of a villain. It seems better to put her as a villain. And I'm glad that Sam Raimi did a great job directing this movie. He did a great job shooting this movie. He did a great job with the writers and making sure that this movie came together perfectly, because as I've learned, especially this semester at school, it takes a lot of people, a big cast of people to make a movie, and the director, Sam Raimi, gets a lot of the credit, or all of the credit, but this movie came together in a multitude of ways, and we have to credit the director. We have to credit the director first, but I do credit everybody that had a part to play in this movie: actors, writers, camera team, everybody, drivers, the whole crew. Because this was one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie of the year so far. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It was great. But back to Wanda. So Wanda was a great villain. She actually took over the show, to be honest with you. And she's always has been, you could say, printed into the direction of becoming a villain. Like, Wanda Maximoff killed a lot of people in the MCU before this movie. She killed a lot of people. And for her to just show her true, natural colors in this movie was great. Now, of course, they had to do the MCU thing, the Disney-fied thing, and have it caused by a dark book that was forcing her to do this, but not forcing her, but leading her into the direction of doing this. But I think the movie probably would have been even better if she had chose to just do this on her own, to just be the villain, wreck shit, kill people, and all that kind of stuff. So Wanda was a great part of the movie. Like I said, my only gripe would be that, they had to put in that dark book, like to kind of force her to be a bad guy. When, you always had the kids from, WandaVision. That was her goal, to be a villain. And speaking of WandaVision, I'm glad I mentioned that. WandaVision, I don't know what I just said. Speaking of WandaVision, I love the callbacks to WandaVision as far as the kids, Wanda's kids, and how her kids drove her to become a villain because she wanted her kids in another universe. And this dark book was the way of help her to get to this other universe. And we actually saw that in this scene, in the movie, not the movie, in the series of WandaVision, of her looking for her kids in another universe. We just didn't know what it was. So I credit Marvel for all that. Marvel does a great job setting up their movies and their next movie and their next big major blockbuster. They do a great job at that. So big ups to Marvel. Big ups to Wanda being a great villain. Like I said, she was just wonderful. Wanda was wonderful. Next up to the Illuminati of Universe, I think it was 833, if I'm corrected. Universe 833, the Illuminati was just all dead. Like, everybody's dead. Baron Mondo was the supreme sorceress in this, supreme sorcerer in this universe. And Mondo, he was my biggest gripe in the movie. Not because he did anything wrong. He was not a bad character, but his story arc was not fleshed out enough for me. And what I mean by that is that Marvel and Kevin Feige should have done a movie featuring Baron Mondo and the great actor, the guy that plays as him in the movie, which I'm not going to even try. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce his name, but I love him in this movie of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I also love him in this show I'm watching. I think that it's called The Man Who Fell to Earth. Dude is great. He's been a host of things. He's great. He's a great actor. I'm going to learn how to pronounce his name one day. But anyway, that's Baron Mondo. His character should have been fleshed out a lot more. He should have been in another Doctor Strange movie before this. Like, Kevin Feige should have made, before Multiverse of Madness, and in between the first movie, should have made like a 1.5 movie. Started Baron Mondo as the villain trying to kill Doctor Strange. Because when Doctor Strange introduced himself in this new universe, the audience not knowing that Baron Mondo was even there until we saw him, and Doctor Strange explains that, well, Mondo is a villain in my universe. He's trying to kill me right now. Like, the audience didn't know that. We didn't know that. I was shocked. So I feel like, Kevin Feige and the writers, Sam Raimi, those guys could have gotten that take a lot better. That could have happened in another series or a movie previously before Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. That should have happened. But anyway, the rest of the team, Black Bolt, being a deadly character with his sonic wave voice, was killed off easily, thanks to none other than Reed Richards, played by John Krasinski. I struggle with his name, but he's one of my favorite actors from The Office. And A Quiet Place 1 and 2, which part 2 we're going to be talking about on today's episode. But, oh man, was he not the best Reed Richards ever? Like, just playing this role, like, he's the best Reed Richards ever put on camera. And it's sick that he had to die in this movie, but I hope as another variant of himself, he comes back. because he was great. He was great. Not only comes back, but also John Krasinski could direct and play as Reed Richards again. That would be wonderful. But yeah, he's dead, and he caused Black Bolt to die, aka the smartest man alive, gave away the powers to Black Bolt, and instantly died by Wanda's hand. Captain Marvel, I like that. I like the actress playing Captain Marvel. I remember seeing her in a different movie, a different MCU movie. I like that she had the Captain Marvel powers, that she was the Captain Marvel in that universe, but she was real cocky and died easily. Professor Xavier from the original X-Men 95 cartoon was in that thing, played by Patrick Stewart, and all the X-Men Fox franchise movies, dressed up in old school 95 green suit with the floated wheelchair, I want to say. I loved him, man. Of course, he's dead. Everybody on this team of the Illuminati dies. Just flat. Just gone. Well, they wasn't even concerned about Wanda. They was more concerned about Doctor Strange, which I find hilarious. Because Wanda was definitely the more powerful person in that room. Or in that universe, I should say. Enough about the all dead Illuminati. America Sanchez, I didn't really like her name, but I love the power to jump from universe to universe in the multiverse. She's gonna be definitely a lot more Marvel movies. That young actress playing her character did a great job. And the only gripe I would say that I didn't like was her learning the sorcerer's ways at the end. Her training with Doctor Strange and Wand and the rest of the sorcerers to become a sorcerer herself, because she could jump through the multiverse. I just feel like she's overpowered. Like that's lacking on that resume. Oh, you're a sorcerer also? Like she doesn't need to do that. But hey, I'm not knocking her, because it looked like she was struggling with the whole sorcerer thing, trying to become a sorcerer, which I do love. That, that's gonna probably make her even more stronger and powerful. But my biggest gripe in this whole movie was America Sanchez trying to become a sorcerer, because Ned picked it up from Spider-Man, Peter Parker's best friend, the big guy. He was able to become a sorcerer, or at least use the sorcerer's powers, the portal, to hop wherever he wanted in like seconds. So I call bullshit on that. And John Krasinski as Reed Richards was just, like I already mentioned, he was great. So Doctor Strange, let's just rank this movie right quick. We're on a ranking portion of the show for this movie, and I will say that was a good movie. I had a great time watching it. The only reason I'm not kicking up to amazing movie, because I think it has some challenges, some problems, but not a lot. So it was a good time. It's a good movie. On my Nota Reviews ratings, and that's where we're going to keep it at. Good movie. Alright, is that good enough? It wasn't bad, it wasn't amazing or great, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It's crazy because it's so far it's been probably the best movie I've seen this year, and I'm only giving it a ranking of good. But it's a superhero movie for one, but it stays grounded in action thanks to Sam Raimi. And it has slight problems, but nothing too big. So it's going to have to stay at a good movie for me. Next up is Moon Knight. What you think about Moon Knight? What did everybody think about the series, the MCU series of Moon Knight, taking a different direction from the other Marvel superheroes in the franchise? Moon Knight is played by Oscar Isaac. Trying to get his name right.